Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Good. No, don't stop. All right, guys. Listen up. Just like in the locker room, the coach just said, listen up. Thanks for coming. I want to welcome you all to youth group today. This is the first youth group we're having for this year. We are planning a number of other trips, so stay tuned for those. One of them is we're thinking of taking a trip to Ground Zero in New York City, where they had a church over there that was set up as like a hospital triage center, where the firemen and then the cops and everybody the rescue workers that were over there got treated when they were working on getting all the stuff out of the World Trade Center area. Anybody interested in doing that? Raise your hand if you are. It's pretty cool. It's something you don't want to miss. All right. Today's feature, as you know, is the movie Rudy. All right. Did you read the stuff I gave you last week?
Yeah.
All right. If you read it, what is this movie about?
It's about a boy named Gilbert who wants to go to Notre Dame University, but in the beginning, some of the teachers go in for Notre.
Right. So he wants to go so badly that what did he have to do? What is one of the biggest things he had to have? What are some of the qualities he had to have? Go ahead. Determination, absolutely. They used to call it the 3 Ds. Dedication, determination, and desire. So he had those. What else? What else did Rudy have to have? Yes? Hope, absolutely, right? Dr. Gilbert always talks about hope. Hope stands for hold on, possibilities exist. Go ahead. Knowledge, okay.
To actually get in.
Yeah, well, he had to work harder than the average person because he had something called what? Dyslexia, that he didn't find out he had until he was in college. Okay, yes. Patience, absolutely, right? He kept getting frustrated. But what else? He had perseverance, right? Every time Notre Dame said, no, you can't do it, he said, yes, I can. He even says it himself. He said, every time Notre Dame told me no, they made me a smarter person. Now, most people would say, well, what do you mean that made me a smarter person? But it made him be more and more determined to get another A, another B, right? Okay. What's another one? He gives it an F. What do we have? Faith, right? He had faith. You see in the movie, he goes out to the grotto at the back of the Notre Dame campus, and he's praying. And when he's not getting what he wants, he goes to the priest at Notre Dame, and he says to the priest, he says, Father, maybe it's that I'm not praying enough. And the priest says, I doubt that's the problem. He goes, we pray in our time. The answers come in God's time. Notre Dame, that's right. Where's that name come from, Notre Dame? What language?
Dutch?
Nope.
Irish?
Nope.
Germain?
Nope.
I just said that.
Notre Dame du Lac.
I said Germain.
French, exactly. It's Our Lady of the Lake. If you go to Notre Dame campus ever, you'll see there's a big lake in the back. And that's why they call it.
Isn't Notre Dame?
Hold on, one at a time.
Latin?
What?
I'm talking about Pig Latin? What? There's such thing.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Right. That's another movie. All right. So you're going to see that movie today. We'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. I have some of Rudy's rules for winning in life. Okay, which is really good. He gives you about 10 insights for winning in life. So let me just read this, and then I'm going to introduce our guest speaker today, who's going to really be great. This is what it says on the movie cover. It says, all his life, people have told Rudy he's not good enough, not smart enough, not big enough. But nothing can stop his impossible dream of playing football for Notre Dame. From the time he's a young boy, Rudy, played by Sean Astin, is determined to join the Fighting Irish, but his blue-collar family only laughs at his ambitions. They know Rudy will follow his father and brothers to the local steel mill. And for 4 long years after high school, he does just that. But some dreams won't die, as Rudy proves when he goes to heroic, occasionally hilarious lengths to win admission to the University of Notre Dame. Once there, he becomes a walk-on player, serving as little more than a human tackling dummy against the starting players. Bloody but unbeaten, Rudy wins the respect of the legendary coach Ara Parsegian and the other Irish players who give him one shot at gridiron glory. An incredible true story from the creators of Hoosiers. Rudy is an unforgettable testament to the power of dreams and the triumph of the common person. And so that's what we're going to see today, okay? So we'll talk more about that at the end. Now, we have a very special guest I asked to come and speak to us today. He is a professor at the Montclair State University. He's been a professor there for about 30-something years. Right, Doc? 30 years. And, yeah, he's a sports psychologist. He's also a motivational speaker, just like myself. Okay? He is probably one of the top motivational speakers in the country, in my opinion. He's also an author. He's written a book, How to Have Fun Without Failing Out. Those of you in college might want to read that book, okay? It's an excellent book. It's tons and tons of tips on how to have fun in college while not failing out. So, without any further ado, I'd like to ask Dr. Gilbert to come up and give us a little motivation. All right, Doc, give it up for Doc. Give it up for Doc. Thank you. He's the best.
Okay, so we got to see if we're all on the same wavelength. So I want to play a game with you. But before I play the game, you know, if you want to motivate people, you have to get their energy level up. So I'd like you to rate your energy level right now on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is high and 1 is low. So right now, if you're an 8, 9, or 10, you have super, super, super high energy. If you're 1, 2, or 3, you have super, super, super low energy. Right now, if you're 4, 5, or 6, that means you don't have enough energy to decide whether you're an 8, 9, or 10, or 1, 2, or 3. You know, so you're somewhere in between. So my job is to get everybody's energy a little higher. And how do you change your energy immediately? Well, you don't change your energy by thinking. You don't say, I want to be energized, I want to be, that doesn't work. And you don't change your energy immediately by feeling. You change your energy immediately by acting. So we're going to play a little game, and we're going to see if we can get your energy level up. Now, since you might not have played this game recently, I'll go over the rules. The game is called Simon Says, okay? You know how to play?
We all know how to play.
Okay, well, I'll go over the rules anyways. Okay, so if I say Simon Says put your hands in the air, you put your hands in the air.
Yes.
But if I say put your hands in the air without saying Simon Says, you don't put your hands in the air. Okay, so this is just practice. This isn't the real game. Okay, Simon Says put your hands up. Simon Says put your hands down. Simon Says put your hands up. Very good. Simon Says put your hands down. Okay, put your hands up. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to make one rule change. Usually when you play the game and when the leader me gets you out, you sit down. But we're not going to do that. Because I'm proud to say that when the ratings came out last April, I'm the world's 5th best Simon Says player. And I'm the best one in America. So for me to get you out is no big deal. We're going to play this game for about a minute. And I'm going to try to get all of you out 10 times in 1 minute. So after I get you out the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, you know, don't sit down so I can get you out the 6th time, 7th time, 8th time, 9th time, 10th time. Everybody understand? Understand that? Okay. Okay. Sorry, everybody understand how to play? Okay, so this is for real right now. What's your first name?
Alfredo.
Oh, you're taking this seriously, huh? You and me. Okay, I'm going to be watching you. I'm going to get you out 30 times. What? Okay, so this is for real now. Okay, everybody stand up, please. Okay, all you people are at once. I'll say it you're not playing with any second grade teacher. I'm a professional Simon Says player. Okay, Simon Says stand up. Simon Says stand up. Simon Says face towards me. Come on. Simon Says stand up. Simon Says stand up, stand up, stand up. Simon Says put your hands in the air. Simon Says shake your hands. Simon Says clap your hands together once hard. Again. Okay, Simon Says put your hands down. Alfredo, I've already gotten you out 6 times.
No, you already got it 2 times.
Okay, we'll start all over again. Everybody take a seat. Okay, everybody take a seat.
Oh.
Alfredo, you're out again. Okay, Simon Says stand up. I'll do the exact same thing, but I'll do it a little slower, okay? I'll do the exact same thing. Simon Says put your hands in the air. Simon Says shake your hands. Simon Says clap your hands together once hard. Again, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Put your hands down. You're out. Simon Says put your hands down. Okay, is there anybody here I haven't gotten out 6 times? Is there anybody here? You're out, you're out, you're out. easy, okay? Simon says put your left hand in the air. Simon says put the left index finger pointing towards the ceiling. And Simon says to move around the room and touch the noses of two incredibly great people. Touch the nose of two incredibly great people. Thank you. Alfredo. Correct.
I'd say you're great, Bob.
Okay, nobody come here, Alfredo. Simon says come here. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for people to do this. Give me a finger.
Yourself.
Okay. Okay, Simon says put your hands down. Okay, put your left hand in the air. Alfredo, come on. Simon says put your left hand in the air. Simon says take the thumb and forefinger and put it together like this. Okay, make a little circle. Now watch closely. I don't want to trick you. Okay, Simon says to take this little circle and put it tightly, 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 tightly against your chin. Simon says put it tightly, tightly, tightly against your chin. Alfredo, this is your chin.
I was going to say, what?
Okay, Simon says put your hands down. Simon says put your hands down. Simon says put your hands down. How many of you were clever enough that you actually had the circle on your chin? You're out. You're out. Okay, Simon says take a seat. Simon says take a seat. Now, we're not playing Simon Says anymore, but what I want you to do is rate your energy level right now. It could be, what was your energy level before, Alfredo? What was your energy level before on a scale of 1 to 10? Like what, 5?
Okay, you're out.
What's it now?
Probably 6.
Okay, so Alfredo's energy level went up 20 or 40% in less than 2 minutes. So when you're having fun and you're moving around a little bit, so if you get really, really, really tired in school, the worst thing, well, has this ever happened to you? You were in physical education class and you pulled a muscle and you have to read read your history book for a test on Friday. It's Thursday night, and since your back hurt, you lie down in your bed and you took out your history book and started reading it. So what happens when you read a book when you're lying down?
Fall asleep.
You fall asleep, you know? So if you're in class and you're feeling really tired, sit up straight, lean forward, make believe you're really, really interested. Even if you're not, just fake being interested. You can make believe being interested, okay? So I just want to show you some little tricks. I need a volunteer. Could you possibly volunteer? And is your name Vicky? Tell it to us. So Vicky, this is a recent copy of Time Magazine. I want you to open this up to any page, and most of the pages are numbered, but pick a page that has a number. You tell me what page it is, and I'll tell you what's on the page. Because I don't have a life and I memorize Time Magazine for a copy.
Vicky move.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so what page do you have? Don't let me see it because I'll cheat. 72. That at the top it says the awesome column, right? Yeah. And it's written by a guy right named Joel Stein, and it shows a picture of him with a big needle, like a big syringe. And what it's about is he and his wife are having a problem because he wants to get his kid inoculated for, you know, all these diseases like the swine flu, and his wife is totally against it. Did I get it right? Yeah. Okay. Now, if you want some time, I could come back and I could just teach you how to memorize. Just wait. The volunteer doesn't leave.
Simon didn't say
I mean, it's very, very easy, and I hope you don't have to go through what I went through. When I was in school, I went to school in Boston. Every night, from like the 3rd or 4th grade on, my teachers gave me homework. They told me what to study, but they never told me how to study. They said, memorize this, but they never told me how to memorize. Now, as you go through school, you'll find that when you're, like a lot of my students in Montclair State, they come to see me and they say, oh, I failed the test, and I did all the reading. You are not tested on what you read. You're tested on what you remember. If you read it and you don't remember it, it really doesn't matter that you read it, does it? Like if you go to the movie and fall asleep, does it matter that you went to the movie? So just by making pictures in your mind, you could remember anything. So let me do, let's have Vicky, matter of fact, let me do one more. Okay, now this is a book and I've memorized a lot of this book. So open that book to any page. Open the book to any page, and pick out a long word on the page, but don't tell me the word, okay? Pick out a long word on the page. You know, something like 10, 11, 12, a real long word. You have one? Don't tell me the word. Okay. So, does your word begin with a V?
No.
No. What does your word begin with?
I.
I? Okay, what page you on?
136.
136. Is your word in the top, bottom, or middle of the page?
Top.
Is the, oh, this is interesting. Is the word Ireland?
No.
No. Is it a geographical place, the word?
No.
No. Does the word begin with a capital?
No.
Oh. Huh. Oh, I got Time Magazine right. I don't know, what is it?
Illustration.
Is this how you spell it?
It is illustration.
Are you gonna mark this up? We can do these tricks. We can do these tricks either with or without applause. It's fine with me either way. Okay. Very good. Very good. Huh? What's the one laughing?
No, you got it.
Okay. So, I have a video. Can we show the video
Yes.
of these here? So, since you're going to see a football movie, I thought I'd give you a little introduction.
We have DVD.
So, let me tell you a little story. About 5 years ago, I had a guest speaker in my class. And he was about my height, but he weighed like 150 pounds more than me. He was really, really big guy. And he started by, he took some nails, he just bent the nails. He took a New York City phone book, he ripped it. I mean, he's one of the world's strongest men. He bent nails, he broke chisels, he did all this stuff. And then this big guy did a full split. And then he said, are there any questions? And my students say, what type, how often do you work out a week? And what type of vitamins do you take? And were your parents strong? And so they're asking all these questions. Then he said, you know, I'm very happy to answer all your questions, or I can answer all your questions in just 2 words. So somebody said, what are the 2 words? He said, desire wins. He said, desire beats nutrition. Desire beats your parents, how strong they are. Desire beats everything. So if you really, 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 really want to do something, you can do it. Just as Jimmy said, desire is one of the 4 Ds. So one summer, there was a church summer camp. And a little boy went to a priest. And he says to the priest, you know, Father, I want to see God. And the priest said, you really want to see God? He said, yeah, everybody talks about God. I want to see God. He said, okay, meet me down by the waterfront tomorrow morning, right at daybreak at 6 o'clock. And have your bathing suit on. So at 6 o'clock, he's there, and the priest is already in the water up into about his chest. So he motions to the boy to come in the water. And the boy comes in the water and said, son, you really want to see God? He said, I want to see God more than anything in the world. So he said, put your head in the water. So the little boy put his head in the water. He said, I didn't see anything. So put your head in the water again. Brings up, I didn't see anything. Okay, put your head in the water again. Put his head in the water again. And then the priest forces his head down, which is fine for about 30 seconds. But after 45 seconds, 50 seconds, the kid can't breathe. And all of a sudden, the priest lets go of his head, and he comes up, and he takes a big breath. And he said, son, when you want to see God as much as you want that next breath of air, then you'll see God. Mm-hmm. So it's all about desire. If you really, 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 really want something. And all of us have desire inside us. But don't let anybody steal your dream. See, you were all born with that desire. Everybody wants to play for the New York Giants, and everybody wants to do well in school. But sometimes some people in our lives, maybe our teachers or our parents or our friends, they tell you can't do something. Well, don't listen to them. Let me tell you a story about a 6th grader named Ricky. Is there anybody here named Ricky? Because it seems like everybody named Ricky is always like a wise guy. You know, I mean, in my whole life, every Ricky has always been, is that true?
Yeah.
Every Ricky, I don't know. Maybe if they're Rick, they're not, but as soon as they become Ricky. So anyway, it's his first day of 6th grade, and the teacher said, you know, I want to get to know my students. So I want you to write a little essay tonight, and I want you to write about your hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the future. Tell me what you want to do with your life. So Ricky, who really didn't get into homework, he went home and he wrote this great essay. He said, I'm going to grow up, and I am going to become the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys football team. I am going to marry a beautiful supermodel, and I'm going to own a big farm with all these horses in Texas. Any passing this? Don't you like the story, Alfredo? Yeah, come on up here.
What? I was acting like a cow.
Okay, come on. Oh, no, it's a horse story. Do a horse.
It sounds like a squirrel.
You do a horse?
I can't do a horse.
Okay. Alfredo,
Sounds like my
you
daughter.
have a great voice. You know that?
Great.
No, I mean, you should be on the radio. You have a great voice. You have like such a deep voice, and you're so young. Do you sing well? I bet you would.
Sometimes it's
Yeah, I bet you are. Okay, so let me get back to the story. So he wrote this essay, said, I want to be a pro football quarterback, I want to marry a supermodel, and I want to own a big farm with all these horses in Texas. So he passes in the paper, and the next day he gets the paper back, and it's the worst thing you can happen. There's a big red F on it. So if, Alfredo, if a teacher pass back a paper to you, you've got a big red F on it, what kind of sound would you make? Yeah, that's what he'd say. Okay, you didn't hear what he said under his breath, but. So there's a big red F on it, and underneath it said, "See me after class." So after class, he went up to the teacher, and the teacher said something he didn't expect. He said, Alfredo, he said, Ricky, you write really well. And Ricky said, well, if I write so well, how come you gave me an F? He said, well, I gave you an F because go home today and look in the mirror. You're not handsome enough to marry a supermodel. And look at your body. You'll never be big enough to be a pro football player. And I kind of feel that you're not smart enough to be a big, own a big farm. But I don't want to give you an F, so if you go home and rewrite the paper and lower your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, don't have such high hopes, dreams, and aspirations, I will give you a higher grade. So Ricky went home, and he thought, and he thought, and he thought. He said, no, I'm not going to change anything. And he passed in the same paper. And the teacher said, Ricky, no, you were supposed to rewrite the paper. He said, oh, no, I understood that. But I decided that I want to keep my dreams. I want to keep my hopes, dreams, and aspirations, and you can keep your F. So I want to keep my dreams, and you can keep your F. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to become. So how can you do this? Now, you're Erin, right? You're in the 4th grade? 3rd grade. So Erin, this is a story about a girl just like Erin who's in the 3rd grade. And this little girl was not the best student, and she wasn't the best athlete, and she wasn't the best musician, but her teachers loved her because she was the world's most